Do you have a gamer in your life? How about surprising them with super special cookies? Hi, it's Hani from Haniela's here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this cookie decorating tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to decorate this fun gamer themed t-shirt cookie featuring a game controller royal icing transfer. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We're gonna start by icing the cookie first. I'm using gray royal icing, light gray royal icing. You can use 10 to 15 second consistency here. I'm doing this first because we are going to do dry on dry application. We're using royal icing transfer. For that, our base layer should be fully dry, and I'm also going to use tissue paper transfer, and for that we also need our royal icing to be fully dry. So I'm going to set these cookies aside and let them dry. It's going to take about 8 to 12 hours. And now we are going to make those controllers. So here I've got a template that I put in a smooth protector sheet. And when cutting a tipless piping bag, find the seam, press it down, and then cut straight across. I also secured my protector sheet. Did you see that there was a little fly there? I secured my protector sheet with the template onto plexiglass, and I'm using 20-second consistency royal icing here to outline and also fill each controller. I'm using blue color, but you can also, use other colors. And once these are fully dry, we can airbrush them. Here I've got a set of 2 stencils that I made out of the mylar sheet. I taped them together so they are not shifting, and I'm also using magnets to help me with the process so it's not shifting as I'm airbrushing. And you can use black airbrush food coloring or blue mixed with just a touch of black to get like a navy blue. Align the outer edge of the controller with your transfer, and then you can airbrush away. Now we're going to also airbrush the very edge. Just go around lightly with the airbrush gun. And now, once you are finished with this step, we're going to add more details onto this game controller. So I'm using black royal icing. You can use piping consistency, soft piping consistency. And I'm just basically piping across on this, I guess this would be the, what's it called, directional controller, I think. And then on to the other airbrush circle, we can add colorful buttons. So I'm starting with yellow. I think these represent, don't quote me on this, is it the ABYX controller buttons, I think. I'm not much of a gamer, but I know a lot of people are. Alright, so once we add red, we're going to add green button. For this step, use soft piping consistency royal icing. If you see any tiny spikes in your icing, use your scribe tool to smooth those. And we're going to let this dry maybe for an hour or 2 before removing it from the acetate. So by this time our cookie is fully dry, we can prepare our tissue paper. I'm going to use tissue paper transfer to get game on letters on my icing. And I'm using, this is a single layer tissue paper. It's the kind that you use for packaging, not the kind you use to blow your nose. And I'm using fine tip edible marker here, just tracing the letters onto the tissue paper. And the idea here is we're going to use the tissue paper on the icing, and we're going to go over the letters with edible marker, and ink from edible marker is going to seep through, and it's going to leave a clear outline for us to pipe on the icing. Here I also got a cardstock template so I can position this Game On tissue paper on the cookies correctly. Let's say you're making 10 cookies, so you're going to make sure that it's evenly spaced out and you have enough space for the game control that's going to go above. So I'm just going to go over. You want to do this slowly. This bit is slightly sped up, just so the ink has enough time to seep through the tissue paper. And there you have a clear outline for the letters. And now it comes to the piping of letters. Now for this step, I suggest using soft piping consistency here. It's a consistency that gives you really nice results because you can also use it to flat this section. You just have to use your scribe tool right after to agitate the icing. And it's thick enough so you're not going to get craters in your real icing. If you do experience cratering, I suggest piping a tiny little zigzag line or line in the middle of each line, let it crust, and then pipe flat consistency icing over it. So essentially you can use the same icing you used on the controller when we were making the cross. And now squeeze the bag just a bit more so you have more icing coming out, filling the letter. For real icing recipe, if you're not familiar with the recipe, you can visit my blog, hanielas.com. I've got a couple of recipes posted on there, along with my cutout cookie recipes. And those of you who would like to dive in deeper, you can also check out my ebook, The Ultimate Guide to Cutout Cookies. Link to my ebook is in the description box under the video. And one more call to action. If you are new to my YouTube channel, subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any more uploads. Now we're going to outline using this same consistency. And this is going to give the cookie this t-shirt a bit more character. When piping the lines like this, you need to have some control over the pressure that you are applying onto the piping bag. So whenever you're starting the line, just squeeze the bag just a bit so you have some icing coming out, anchor it, and then move it in a direction you want to go, and then increase the pressure. This way you can successfully eliminate that bulb that usually, or like a little dot that forms at the very beginning. And you want to do the same when you are ending the line. You want to stop squeezing slowly and then lay the line down. It does take some practice. But don't give up. Now to attach the transfer, just use a little bit of icing on the back. And there, it's secured onto the cookie. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my cookie decorating tutorials and recipe videos, don't forget to give them thumbs up. And I will see you next time.